Uh, okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Tatiana Shlebko. I'm Cambridge English ELT consultant. And today I will be talking rather about projects, thought-provoking projects. And I will actually show you only the example of one project because before we start, I will just remind you that we will be thankful if you share a screenshot or selfie with yourself, looking into the screen. Because we do miss beautiful photos from the live conferences, and I remember how fun it was to take pictures in front of the banners of different publishing houses and so on. So at least in this way we can share this mood somehow. So I'm asking you to share some visuals on your social media and tag us Linguist UA there. Yeah, because we already did that. And regarding the certificates, please make sure that you don't do this thing writing us right away after the webinar is finished, because you will receive a thank you letter in 2 days after the conference. There you will have the links to the feedback form, to the certificate folder. You will just need to go to this link and find your name. There will be the certificate and the program of each day. So, going to our topic. Today we will have an activity to take away, the one I promised yesterday, but we didn't do it. And we will. This will be our lead-in to the topic of project work, collaboration. We will have an example of one of the projects, and we will talk about Think Second Edition. And yeah, this is my first question and our favorite Slido. I guess you learned everything about Slido in the last 3 days, but I will ask you again to go to slido.com, enter this code on your phone preferably, and answer what kind of work do you usually use: project work, pair work, individual work, or group work? What kind of work do you usually use in your classroom? Okay, this is interesting. I will give it 20 more seconds. No, 10 seconds. So we have pair work winning. No, pair and group work winning. Wow, such a competition. But yeah, I was guessing that pair work would be the most efficient way to learn language, because there are 2 people needed to speak, to communicate, and the best way to learn is in pair work, and that would be the most common way of learning, which is great, and you're using it. And I'm happy to see that you're using much more pair work than individual work. Let's say this poll is over, because looks okay, pair and group again in the competition. Let's have one more answer to make something win. And okay, let it be 50-50, pair and group work. And yeah, let's have a look at one of the activities I promised yesterday. Can somebody help me? Not right now, but those who can help me, please listen to the instructions carefully, because there are quite complicated instructions, but a lot of fun when we start working. So, this activity is called Common Story. This is a typical pair work task, and we will have a look at the way it's done. There are 2 people one green person, one yellow person. So there are two people, and one person starts telling a story. And she or he says, "This morning I opened my eyes and saw," yeah, this is half of a sentence. And another person finishes this sentence, "that my cat broke the window," full stop. And starts another sentence, but only says a half of a sentence. "I took my phone to call," and the other person answers, "the police, they said," and we continue. So actually the whole conversation consists of halves of the sentences, the ending and the beginning. And our task is to make up a common story. I will ask avoiding such constructions when you stop on the word "and" or something like that, because it's kind of combining two sentences. Yeah, but we can try. So who will be able to help me now out of the colleagues? Who can join? Anyone? I have a phone with me, so I will ask. If no one helps, that's okay. Yana.
I guess it's me.
Thank you. So our task is to make up a story, and we can finish our parts with these words, for example. Yeah. So today I went out to the street and looked at
the street sign that looked at the street sign, full stop. The street sign said
that it is blocked. So I turned left because
I wanted to go to the supermarket. I needed some potatoes to make
a cake. I'm a big fan of potato cakes, which
are very good for you.
Okay, thank you very much. We can go on forever, right? Till the story is over. Thank you for helping me again. And you are free to hide yourself if you wish. Now, this is how the story is done. Very important thing, which is there in the story, that we don't repeat a part of the sentence. We are trying to keep up the story as if it's going itself, as if it's one person talking. And what's the value of such thing? First, we can work with different grammar topics like prepositions, like relative clauses, of course, we're working with narrative tenses. This is past simple, past continuous, past perfect, especially past perfect. And what is the value? This is a story that is not only mine. We are building it together. So we need to listen to each other carefully. At the same time, remember the grammar rules. So we don't say in and then something that doesn't fit with in. We have to double think every time. And still, there is no communication in this task, because this is not what people do in real life. But there is a lot of listening. Yeah, we need to listen carefully and actively to add up. We can add a challenge, like you need to use these particular words in this task. explore new vocabulary. How do we do error correction in this situation? We let people roll on with their story. We let students roll on with their story until they are done, or we stop them and do the delayed error correction. Monitor, listen to them, write down the mistakes that we heard, and then put it on the board and ask the whole class, correct the mistake that you heard somewhere but you don't specify where. The person who said it will definitely see, oh, that was my mistake. Yeah. So this is how the error correction is done. This is not a project work yet, but this is a rehearsal of project work. Because a project, if it's in a team, this is something that is done together for the sake of the story. And now I will ask you to add your ideas. What are the benefits of project work, except for making a common project that doesn't only belong to me, but also but where I am the part of it. Cooperation, collaboration, exactly. Communication, developing skills, okay. Ooh, shy people work better, great. Speaking practice. Creativity, very important, yes. Satisfaction of joint work, interesting. Teamwork. Practicing vocabulary and grammar. It's always the benefit of any English lesson, isn't it? But yeah, for a project, this is actually using it for some task, not just for the language. Okay, so we have collaboration as the main point, communication and creativity and teamwork are somewhere close to it. But yeah, collaboration is very important here. Ooh, I have independence, responsibility, problem solving, deeper engagement. Wow, that's great. You can tell that you are using project work in your classrooms. Let's think, what is project work? So this is the work which focuses on completing a task, not on the language, not on the grammar, but some particular task that stands in front of the team. Project work normally involves a lot of resources, time, people, materials, and learners practice a range of skills and language systems, all together in one package. And for project work, we do use all the life competencies, which are critical thinking, creativity, communication, collaboration, learning to learn, of course, social responsibilities, and together with that, the foundation layer, which is emotional development, digital literacy, and subject skills. Digital literacy for sure, because in the project I will show you, students will need to practice it too. Regarding collaboration, which is most probably the main point of project work, students develop such a range of core areas and components of this life competency as taking personal responsibility for own contribution to a group task, which includes actively contributing to the task and taking on different roles. Encouraging effective group interaction, which includes listening and responding respectfully, and this is why we had this common story task. It teaches us how to listen to your partner respectively and actively. Then establishing ways of working together, engaging and supporting others. Managing the sharing of tasks in a group activity includes agreeing that needs to be done, what needs to be done, and managing the distribution of the task. And the last core area within collaboration is working towards the task completion. which means ensuring progress towards a goal, which means setting a goal before that, identifying issues and challenges, and resolving these issues and challenges. This is the main skill we train in the project works. As the main skill for that, collaboration equips learners with useful language and interpersonal skills to take into further study and the workplace, right? Because projects, this is something we actually do at work. We don't usually work individually. Even if I'm an individual, I don't know, artist, I make pictures, I need someone who would distribute those pictures, someone who would sell those pictures. I need to communicate to exhibition centers and so on. I don't do that. That's why I have this, you can see it here. This is David. Here it is, David. It's still hanging on my wall. Because I don't collaborate with anyone in this area. But I do collaborate a lot with the colleagues, we help each other, and we always work on one project, like this conference. All learners participate and feel involved in their learning. This is something we will need at work as well. Then it links what they learn with how they are learning, as the process is transparent. Presented by the teacher and discussed by the class. I will show you how that can be done. And it allows learners to experience a different way of learning. For example, learners from contexts where collaboration is not usually encouraged can experience different ways of approaching problems, thinking and cooperating with others. And it creates a positive and dynamic learning environment in contrast to competitive classrooms, which can create divisions, isolation, and a sense of a failure. For example, in my classroom, we had both a lot of projects, but there was a huge competition in high school. Before that, we were like, actually at school it was fine, but at the university, our system works towards individual students' work, and it really doesn't prepare you to the real life work. Collaboration and project works where many people are involved can really, students can really benefit from it. Okay, how to assess project works. When introducing the collaborative learning approach, teachers can integrate self and peer assessment of both the achievement and the task, as well as of the collaborative skill used, so that learners can understand how this way of working is beneficial. So while working on the project, in the end, when you assess the project, it's not only about the language, not only about the way the project is done, but also about how well students manage to collaborate together. And project itself. I hope it will work now. I will show you a video of the result of one of the projects I had with my students.
What is art? The short answer is that I wanted to make this presentation for you be art is everything. And many people may not like this concept of the idea that literally anything you see can be construed as art. But the truth about it is oftentimes that is the case. And so in this presentation, I'm going to take you through a few examples that not everybody might consider art. So the first is Jean Giraud. His paintings always look slightly childish, and say that a 5-year-old could have done a better job. Nonetheless, this particular painting was sold for over $2 million by a fan. So who are we to say what's art? Carl Michael, another crazy artist who did the unspeakable and created a painting using the ashes of the Holocaust victims to spray on canvas. Now, I'm not here to judge, but some people consider this slightly disrespectful. Whether you think so or not, that's completely up to you. So, In the performance art world of the recent years, it's become clear that a lot of things are performance art that look very right.
I will stop here. What this project is called Pecha Kucha project. I might have mentioned it sometime, but how it's done. There was a group of students who were making research on different kinds of art. This one was about art, visual arts. Yeah, another presentation was about music, another presentation about performing, and so on. And how did we make it work? First, they needed to understand the task properly, and the task is very simple. The task says that you have 10 slides. Each slide can be only 20 seconds long on the screen, and it changes automatically. So each slide 20 seconds, and in these 20 seconds you need to tell what's that slide is about, and the whole story should be somehow connected. So this student took the topic of whether it's art or not, or what is considered to be art, right? And she is kind of speculating on this topic. What is art, what is not? On each slide, she only spoke for 20 seconds, no longer. Yeah, and that's all. That's the whole task. We had the general topic, art, and they were looking for their own ideas there and putting the presentations together. How we can make it work with the teenagers and make it a group work. In a group work, they might need to create one presentation and divide who will speak on each slide, for example. Before the presentation, of course, they need to make a research. They research what is art and so on. Then they sit down and create this presentation, put together all the information they found, and make it an important thing. There are only pictures. There is no text on these slides, only pictures, and they speak from their heart. Then they need to find time to rehearse it all together. Yeah, like one student speaks first 2 slides, next student slide 3 and 4, and so on. So they need to rehearse it, so it goes all in 20 seconds, and they find time for it on their own. You might help them, of course. And then there is the production stage, where they present their research in the classroom. And of course, you need to give them some feedback on how it made you feel, and of course, on what was not understandable for you or made you feel not so good. What are the strategies? First, set the clear goal. And again, in my task, it was create a presentation about art that will have 10 slides, 20 seconds long each slide, only pictures. That's it. Yeah, and students for themselves need to set the goal, what exactly they want to say with this presentation. Yeah, so it's connected, so it makes sense. Time limit, I already gave the time limits. Limit 10 slides, 20 seconds, 200 seconds. Then model the result. Show them what should be there in the end, like I showed you this video. They need to understand what is their success criteria. First, if they speak non-stop on each slide, if the story comes together and answers some question, and if it's fun and interesting for them, this is the success. Team building and roles coordination should be figured out in the project, of course. And they need to have step-by-step instruction for them. and feedback on every step of the project, and facilitation from the teacher. And in the production stage, you just let it go. And yeah, focus on the achievement and on the process as well. Regarding life competencies collaboration brochure, you can also ask students to fill out such a chart after the end of the presentation, whether they are good in collaboration or they need some improvement in collaboration, and how they feel about collaborating. And you can find such tasks in this brochure. Then, on the team building point, you need to make sure that all the students know their roles. Nobody is left out and has something to contribute. Everybody knows everything about the project, but is only responsible for part of the project. Time limit, to-do list. There should be someone doing the research, maybe not the whole group, but the whole group should be involved in this research, and there should be one person putting it all together. One person presenting it, right? Or maybe 4 people presenting it, and you can have everyone involved in the presentation. That might be up to the group. And we always start from the brainstorming of the ideas, what they want to talk about. And you remember from yesterday, there should be time limit, structure, and no judgment, no on the brainstorming stage, no criticism of the ideas. And let's have a look at the instruments. This is one of the instruments for such a project that I showed you. This is the script. And the script is very much like a CELTA lesson. Okay, sorry for that. In this script, we have the part opening of the presentation. And there, for example, we have 2 slides. Yeah, in this opening, there is the presentation, and it takes, for example, I have here 3 minutes, but students can have 40 seconds and the time they need there. Then there should be 3 main key points, and students have a summary of these 3 main key points in the presentation, and then decide what devices they need to illustrate their presentation. Like, should it be only person talking, or, sorry for this movement, or a video, or chart, or just an image. In our case, those are just images. And then in the end, there should be closing remarks and call to action. Like, if you have some interesting question to answer, you need to ask people how to act in this particular topic. Then I was asking my students to write down some notes for each particular slide. Like, first, we had this amount of slides. Yeah, there were, 20 slides. And we had 3 slides for the opening, then 5 plus 5 plus 5 for the key points, and 2 for the ending and call to action. And on each sticker or card, they would write down what they mean in this presentation. You need to set the rules very properly for each project, but these rules should be not about the language. Again, it should be about the time limits or only pictures. This is my rule for that project. And then let the students improvise with the topic, with the rest. Once they improvise, they will see what works, what doesn't work. And when you let students improvise, you might be impressed about how intelligent they are. Then give them feedback on every stage. Very important. When we look at Cambridge University Press materials that have a lot of project work, this is Think second edition. There are projects on every step, and you can make a project out of any question in this book. Yeah, this is the course book that looks forwards and thinks about what will be the time in future and what skills students need in the future, and that's why there are a lot of collaborative projects in this course book. The author of the course book is Herbert Buchta, one of the authors, and he always says that it is important to respect students' way of thinking and their emotions. Take them really seriously, because these are the people who will make the future. In the second edition, we kept everything we loved. There are the same authors, the same expertise, and the same approach to psychology of the teenagers. There are different thought-provoking topics, global issues to talk about. The course book still works on students' values, culture, life skills. And at the same time, we changed 75% of the content in the second edition. 75% is new. There are over 30 new videos, like documentaries. There are documentaries in each unit. For example, this is one of the documentaries.
We love our screens, big ones and small ones. They are with us day and night, everywhere. We can't stand being without them. Most of us spend half the day or more in front of a screen, glued to our phones, on social networks, surfing the web, or playing video games.
Okay, I will stop here. So you can guess how the video will end. I'm not going to show you that, but I will just tell you that this is from Think second edition, unit level 3. There are student vlogs, and this is the example of a student vlog in Think.
Hi, it's Will. Welcome to Life Lessons. That's better. Hi there. There's a reason why I was in that box. You've heard of the expression thinking outside the box, haven't you? Well, I thought I'd try it out, and to be honest, while I was in that box, I couldn't think of anything except let me out of this box. So, now that I'm outside of the box, hopefully my thinking will be clearer.
Okay, so this is the vlogs that there are different students telling sometimes their stories, sometimes they show how they are starting to play musical instruments, and this is taken as something that would be interesting for contemporary teenagers. There are grammar raps instead of grammar presentations that were there in Think first edition.
We can build the fastest trains. Travel around the world, in our super fast jet planes. To be more careful.
Okay.
That's right. with the things.
So grammar apps is considered to be more engaging for teenagers, and this can be really fun. But the important part here is that there is the new digital component on Cambridge One. Like Presentation Plus is now on Cambridge One. And there is this beautiful tool which is called Collaboration Plus. Collaboration Plus is like a CRM system for teenagers, where they can complete their projects, where they can make different tasks to each other, and talk to each other, have messages, and work on the same task but from different parts of the world, actually. Yeah, and in this Collaboration Plus, it's free if you get the book. You have free access to Collaboration Plus, and the teacher can track their progress in Collaboration Plus. For example, here we have the putting together a menu project, preparation of the project, planning the project, and putting it together. Then there are different making videos project and so on. There are, of course, practice extra parts. Teacher's digital pack that includes all the components of the book, and there are new reading, writing, and listening scripts with thought-provoking topics. Some of them are staying the same as in the first edition, but most of them are new. And there is updated exam content, like there is there is exam practice after each 2 units, and also there is exam practice in the test and train part in Cambridge One. Yeah, so this is about Think second edition. You can learn more at cambridge.org/think2e, which means second edition, and this is how beautiful these new books are. If you need to learn more, or you need additional talk, additional consultation, you can email me. You can see my email on the screen. That's here. This is it from me. Thank you very much for listening. And I think it's time for a quiz, isn't it? Okay. Before we go to quiz, let's see whether we have any questions. If you have any questions, please type in the chat. Okay, a lot of thank yous. Thank you. And I will just remind, if you have any question, okay, we see the question. Something about the first edition. I already lost it. Where can students from other countries buy things? First edition. You mean, okay, if students are in another country, not in Ukraine, they have to find a distributor of Cambridge University Press in their country, because we only work in Ukraine. This is the law. For how many lessons a week is think suitable? From 3 to 5. Okay, thank you for the smiley faces, and I still have time to answer your questions. If you have questions about not only think, maybe about prepare. Oh, is it harder than prepare? No, it's not harder, because the levels are the same. It's just about different approach. Think is more about collaboration and critical and creative thinking. It's more about developing life skills. And prepare also has sections with that are developing life skills, but it has a different approach. It still has the same background with psychology, and it has less cognitive approaches. But if I were to choose with my students, yeah, I would have a great difficulty because the levels are the same from A1 to B2. They are the same. The difference is that think has level C1 and it doesn't have a division. Yeah, if prepare has a division, like level A1, then A2, 2 books, then B1, 2 books, and B2, 2 books. With think, this is 1 book per level. This is A1, A2, B1, B1 plus, B2, and C2. There are 6 levels, from starter to the advanced. And prepare has 7 levels, but from 1 to 7, yeah, from starter till the upper intermediate. Thank you once again. Looking for more questions. Thank you.